Hey guys, we're here and today I'm doing a video that I kind of thought of but was also kind of requested by you guys. I've made a video before about how to collect K-pop photo cards. I think that video was made back in like 2015 or something. I was in college, so 2014, 2015. But anyways, I made a video about collecting K-pop photo cards a long time ago, and I have never, I don't think, updated anything about that. But when I started collecting photo cards, it was not as crazy as it is right now. I've definitely made rants talking about how crazy everything is, but today I'm going to kind of go over how I decide what I want to collect from each of the K-pop groups photo card wise that I collect, sort of what my rules are, and how I decide on those rules, and how I deal with the 8,000 things that end up being in K-pop albums these days. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get started. So for my ultimate groups, they all release quite a few different versions of things. I think the most extreme ultimate I have is Monsta X. They release so many super random things every single time they release an album, especially their past couple of releases. I don't really collect many groups fully. I won't really do too many full sets. I collect my bias for most of my groups, and I don't try to do anything besides that. If I buy solo albums or subunit albums, then and my bias is not in that solo or subunit, but I still bought the album anyways. For example, like Vix LR, my bias in Vix is Hyuk, and he's not in Vix LR. Or if I bought Ravi or Leo's solo albums, which I have done, and my bias is not either of those, I just kind of keep whatever photo card I get, or I choose my bias from that subunit. Super Junior, most of their releases I have just Donghae's photo card. I've done a couple of full sets for Suju, especially their most recent full-length album, their 8th full-length album. I did try to collect play and replay full member sets because there were only 7 members in those comebacks, and I was like, I'm buying multiple copies anyways. For the CD plates, I didn't collect anything more than Donghae. I was going to do more member CD plates, and I just couldn't do it. So yeah, Suju usually have either 1 or 2 sets of photo cards per release. They don't really do anything crazier than that. Infinite usually have 2 versions per member for their past couple of releases, and for, of course, Wooyeon's solo, I collected all of his cards, and when Infinite F were doing things, I collected all of Sungyeol's cards. After School doesn't release things anymore, but my bias in After School is Reina. She's also my orange caramel bias by default. I collect whatever, however many versions there are for her. A-Pink, there's usually 3 or 4 different cards for Balmy per each release, and their most recent release, 1 in 6, which is actually sitting right here because I'm about to film a different video with this album, but had CD plates as well. But there were like, and I try to collect every single Balmy card, but it is so hard. I think that's gonna be one of my goals for 2019, is just to like sit down and do it, because right now a lot of my goals are Super Junior photo cards and Monsta X photo cards, but I think I'm going to really try to work on A-Pink and After School as well next year. For Japanese releases for her, I collect her CD plate photo card, and if I can get my hands on the other version of the photo card, then I try to. But because I don't collect every single CD from like every single version of A-Pink's Japanese singles, I don't feel the need to get the photo cards from the version that I didn't even buy. For the Monsters, oh, that was a lame joke. They release like 80,000 things every time they make a comeback. They're becoming one of those K-pop groups that I feel like very, very few people actually collect Monsta X seriously and their bias seriously, because it's hard. Oh my gosh, I bias Wano. It is hard to collect Wano's random things. I cannot even begin to explain to you how much that boy makes me suffer every single comeback. Amazing looks, his amazing voice, his amazing producing skills, but also all the random things he makes me buy. All those random things he makes me buy. It's not his fault, I know, but still, going to blame him. How could I not collect Monsta X when literally my Monsta X pages are so incredibly satisfying once they're full? And then for Japanese things. He has large cards that come in the version Bs of the albums, so I usually just buy those with the album. And then he has one photo card per album, so that's pretty easy to keep up with. I just tried to plug this into my camera because it's dying. This is my laptop charger. Am I okay? For most of my other top groups, we have BTS. I collect all of Seokjin's Korean cards. I don't collect their Japanese albums, so once again, if I don't buy the album, I don't really feel it necessary to collect the photo card. BAP, they have a lot of random things that come in their albums. I try to get at least one of Jungup's things from each version. For SHINee, I collect Minho, their releases. They don't really have a crazy amount of things, so I don't, and Minho's not a soloist, so I don't feel like overwhelmed collecting Minho at all, ever. Dreamcatcher I don't collect because they just have too many photo cards and I just, no. Cross Jean, I collect Youngsook's more recent photo cards. They're a very hard group to collect because they're so underrated. 17, I collect every single S-Coups thing because I hate myself. And then for larger things, if I pull S-Coups, I'll try to get a couple of my second biases, which are Joshua, Jonghan, and Dino. Golden Child, I collect Seungyoon and Jungjoon. They're rookies. I haven't really had an issue collecting them thus far. Jungjoon stuff is hard to find, but besides that, I haven't really had too many issues. G-Friend, another group that I just try to get at least one of Yuju's cards and I move on. Did I talk about the other girl groups over here? No. So, Red Velvet, I collect all of Wendy's Korean stuff. AOA, same thing, all of Minna's photo cards. Lovelies, I collect K and Yeon, all of their cards to the best of my ability. But Day 6 are a group that were really easy to collect. I collect Wonpil, he's my bias, and suddenly they've become more and more difficult to collect. So for their newest release, I'm just going to try to get like 3 or 4 Wonpil cards, and I'm just going to call it good for that. I already have 2 of them, so we're doing good. New East, I collect Dongho's things. They're another group that I collected a lot of Dongho's things, and then when New East were going through their little hiatus thing, I kind of sold off his photo card set, and then now I'm collecting Dongho very seriously again. Becco. GOT7, I collect at least one Youngjae thing per album. I try to get his like weird cards, like they had a triangle card at one point, so I have that, and I will try to get some of his things, but I don't collect everything random Youngjae because GOT7. Pentagon I don't collect. NCT I collect. I wasn't going to collect them, but now I collect all of Lucas's photo cards, all of Johnny's photo cards, and all of Jano's photo cards. So it's fun. Gugudan I collect Nayoung because she is one of my top female biases, so that is why. Luna I collect Cherry, all of her random photo cards and such. And after that, I don't really collect. I collect Pristine and G-Friend, and that's really it. So I don't collect a ton of groups photo card wise, and as you can see, a lot of my photo card collections are very simple just because there are so many different photo cards and so many different versions of things these days that is really hard to keep up. But like I said, if I buy the album, I have something to trade for it, so it doesn't really feel that overwhelming if you keep up with buying the albums. I think that's the most important part about collecting photo cards. Like I said, if I don't buy the Japanese things for a group, I won't get the Japanese photo cards unless I can randomly come across it. Like I have one of Hyuk's Japanese photo cards just randomly just because I thought it was cute and I had a little extra money and I bought it, and he's one of my top male biases. But yeah, that's basically all of my rules for collecting photo cards. I hope this was somewhat helpful for you. If not, I gave you a little more insight into how I collect all my groups. I'll link my most recent photo card collection up above right now. I've probably already done it just so you can see a visual of all the photo cards I collect. And also I'm trading a ton of photo cards, so I will go ahead and link my spreadsheet down below if you would like to check that out and possibly trade with me or buy some extra cards from me from groups that I don't really collect. Yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys very, very soon. Bye!